Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Selena if you're new. Today we are going to enjoy afternoon tea at home, and to do that, I'm making some scones. I want to make some pumpkin scones, and also I'm going to make some 3-ingredient scones. These are basically foolproof, so if you've never made scones before but you would really like to, I do recommend giving the 3-ingredient scone recipe a go first. Yeah, especially if you're new to scones. But scones are delicious. I feel like some of these older favorites are making a comeback these days, and I couldn't think of anything better to do with my little piece of pumpkin here than steam it, mash it, and turn it into some pumpkin scones. So if you have canned pumpkin or tinned pumpkin, also known as tinned pumpkin, you can use that. We need about a cup roughly of mashed pumpkin with no salt, no seasoning, nothing like that. Because canned pumpkin's not the easiest thing to come by in Australia. It's not readily available like it is in other countries. We tend to mash it ourselves. I do can my own pumpkin though. That is something, if you are into canning your own food and you have canned some pumpkin, or you're about to can some pumpkin, which I'm about to do soon, I always can it in just water. That way, when I go to use it, I can use it for something like soup or savoury applications, but I can also use it as mashed pumpkin for things like pumpkin scones or pumpkin pie, things like that. So I've got, about 1/4 of a pumpkin there. I'm eyeballing a cup. I usually don't measure it specifically, and I'm just going to pop that on some boiling water behind me, and that's just going to steam, and once it's fully cooked, we'll just mash it up and we'll make our pumpkin scones. So first thing I'm going to make is my 3-ingredient scone. This isn't my recipe uniquely. This is something I came upon many years ago, and I've been making it ever since. It just made making scones simpler, pretty cheap, and just really, really easy, okay? So what I've got happening is my oven is on. I have put it on to 180 degrees Celsius. It's fan forced. I want my oven pretty hot. I have a baking tray lined with some non-stick baking paper. Okay, so in my bowl here, I've got it on some scales. I want 375 grams of self-raising flour. If you don't have self-raising flour, you can use plain flour and just add a teaspoon of baking powder to it. Okay, 375 of self-raising flour. To that, all we're adding is some lemonade and some whipping cream. So I'm using shelf-stable cream. You don't need to use shelf-stable cream. You can use normal cream. I just happen to have this, and I don't have any fresh cream. So we want 170 grams of both the lemonade and the cream. So I've just cleared that to 0. Another thing, when you're making scones, you mix them with a knife, okay? So first of all, I'm just going to cut up. My flour was a little lumpy. I probably should have sifted it first, but we're going to be fine. We're going to go with this. So 170 mils. And I'm going to use what's left of this, and I'm just going to whip it to have with my scones. So I'm going to put that in the fridge so it's nice and cold. And then we want 170 of our lemonade. This one does not seem very fizzy. Hopefully it's going to work. Let's give it a shake. That lemonade is flat. Now what we need is the bubbles from the lemonade. So it's got the sweetness, we've got the sugar in the lemonade, right? So we don't need to add sugar. But we need the bubbles because the bubbles are going to react with that raising agent in our self-raising flour. So I am going to gas some soda water. I am on the fly now. I didn't know that was going to be flat. I'm not sure why it's flat, but it is. We are going to gas some soda water, and I'm going to do half soda water and half lemonade, all right? Hang on 1 second. Okay, let me tell you what I've done. I made some soda water here, and then I grabbed an empty bottle and I poured my lemonade in it, and I ever so carefully regassed it. So I'm actually going to just do the lemonade. Don't use flat lemonade. If you find your lemonade is flat, you're going to have to use something else. And if I had no lemonade at all, I would have done soda water and put some sugar in here as well, okay? But I think I've saved it. We've got bubbles now. We're going to go with some lemonade. Again, 170 mils. Never mind the distraction there. Okay, mix this with a knife just to begin with, and then the mixing motion is like a cutting action, okay? That is how scones stay fluffy, don't become tough, and that goes for any scone recipe. I never use anything other than a knife to mix scones. And if you want to see some different scone recipes, let me know in the comments down below, because I do make quite a few different flavors from time to time, and I'm happy to share those if this is something of interest. So when you've got a sticky dough that's come together like that, then we can roll it out. So I've got a board here. I'm going to put a little bit more flour. This is a sticky dough. My baking tray is ready. And we don't want to knead this at all. I don't want my scones tough in any way. All right, I washed my hands because they were quite sticky. Yeah, we've got some fizz in there now. That should work. A little bit more flour on top, and then all I do is press it into a workable shape, okay? You don't want them too thin. Now this is where you can cut your scones into triangles. You can cook them as, you could just cut this into a grid and cook them like that. I am going to use my scone cutter and make some circles today. So I usually use the one with the little fluted edges, but I can't find it. So I'm just going to use a round cutter. And then simply on your sheet. If you like your edges crispy, space them apart on your tray. If you want your edges to be softer and just the tops crispy, you can make them touch, okay? So if your scones are touching, your sides will be less crispy. Now, you don't want to be working this dough at all, but I also am not going to waste this, so I am going to roll out more. These ones will not be as nice as those ones, they never are. But if you can just form it into the shape, and I just want to try and get 2 more. And we are going to do this. Okay, just like that. I am going to give these a brush with milk before I put them in the oven. All right, I've started getting the ingredients out for our pumpkin scones. The pumpkin is ready, it's nice and soft. I've just popped it in the fridge just to cool it down quickly. Let's brush our scones with a little bit of milk, just on the tops. I like to have a crunchy crust on the top of my scone. And I'll be honest, this is my very favourite way to make them. Even when I add other flavours and make them different, I love the 3 ingredient scone. But the pumpkin scone is going to be different. It's not just 3 ingredients. So give this a good brush. We want them in our oven for about 20 minutes, all right? I'm going to just pop them in now and then we'll move on to our pumpkin scones. All right, I've set a timer. 4 pumpkin scones. I'm going to do them on a separate tray. I also do like to make this pumpkin scone recipe as a loaf. This is my pumpkin loaf recipe. If you've made that before, it's the same recipe. We're just going to cut it into the circles today. So I have some butter in my bowl and I want to add some sugar to that. All right, so I've softened some butter in a bowl. And I just popped that in my microwave for 10 seconds because we're going to be hand mixing this. I have butter and now I'm going to add some sugar. And we want to give this a good whisk and get that nice and creamy. If you have soft butter when you're doing this, you'll find it's not too much effort. If your butter is hard and cold, this is going to be much more difficult than it needs to be. So use room temperature butter or even pop it in the microwave for 10 seconds like I have. If you're looking for today's recipes, they are in the bottom of my description box. That is where the recipes are. The method is in the video, so you do need to watch the video. Once your butter is looking like this, we can go ahead and add 1 egg. And traditionally, scones, the butter is rubbed into the flour. This one I like to make this way, okay? Okay, to that we want 2, roughly, tablespoons of golden syrup. Okay, I want to add some nutmeg, and I have half a teaspoon of nutmeg. A generous half a teaspoon. I do love nutmeg. All right, to that we want to add our mashed pumpkin. Now my pumpkin isn't mashed, it's still in its little cubes, so I'm going to sort of mash that with my whisk. It's better if your pumpkin is cold. Mine is not cold. It's still got some heat to it, so I'm going to mash that up pretty quickly. If you're using a tin of pumpkin or pre-mashed pumpkin, maybe leftover pumpkin from something else, you want about a cup of mashed pumpkin. The reason I steam it instead of boiling it is because I don't want to add extra liquid. Pumpkin's pretty watery as it is. All right, now we want to add our flour and our milk. And we're going to be alternating between flour and milk, kind of like when you make a cake. But I'm going to remove my whisk. It is 400 grams of flour. All right, so I pre-measured my flour just then. It's 400 grams of flour and we have about 80 mils of milk roughly. I probably won't use all the milk because my pumpkin mix is pretty liquefied, okay? This one is going to be quite difficult to roll out as well. And we can always add more flour if we need to, just a little bit. It's quite often why I make my pumpkin scones into a loaf, to be honest, is because I find the dough is so wet. happy with that. That's where we're at. Let's roll this out just like we did our 3 ingredient scones. And again, not really rolling, more pressing. Press it to size, to the thickness we're going for. And I like to go for about 2 centimeters thick, roughly. Okay, I'm just going to press in my edges a little. Flour this guy well. And I do dunk it in the flour between each cut because I don't want my scones sticking to my cutter. Be gentle with your scone dough. It's not bread dough. We're not going to treat it roughly. We are soft handling, gentle hands. We don't want to make rocks. These ones might take a little bit longer in the oven. They could take 25 minutes. But look, there's a baby one. That's going to be my tax, my testing tax there. All right, so that's 20 minutes. And they look done to me. Okay, I'm going to let them cool. We can get our pumpkin scones in the oven. I've got a little bit of milk here. And again, I'm just going to brush the tops. You don't have to brush the tops. Some people don't. I just like it with the shiny brushed top. That's how I like them. Okay, that one in the oven, I'm going to put that in for 25 minutes and let our other scones cool down. We do want to serve these ones nice and cold because I will be putting some whipped cream with them and no one wants melted whipped cream. So they need to cool right down. The pumpkin scones, I actually prefer those to be warm. I think they're delicious when you've got just a little bit of melted butter on them. Perfect. But you do whatever works for you. These recipes do freeze really well if you're wanting to pre-make this and keep them in the freezer. They successfully freeze and you can always just reheat them in a microwave. But I don't think anything is better than fresh scones. So if you have a choice, I would make them fresh. They took no time at all to put together. All right, pumpkin scones are also out of the oven. Pop them on a tray to cool. And my little mini one. All right, so that is my super easy scone recipes. All right, I hope this recipe was helpful for you. If you haven't made scones before, give one of these two a go. Let me know what you think. Everything you need is in the description box below. Don't forget to share this video, save it if you want to keep it for later. Share the video around. Thank you to everyone who has liked, subscribed, and been hyping my videos. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to do that for this one as well. Have a fantastic week. I'm going to give these a little taste test and we're going to enjoy a lovely afternoon tea. Let's bring back having afternoon tea at home with friends and just self-catering for these sorts of things. So have a fantastic week. I'm going to catch you next time. Bye.